Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, the Pacific Demon Caliban Drucker. And, well, I know it's past Halloween, but I kind of wanted to go over my top 10 horror games in the video game history that's out right now. And, you know, there's a lot of horror games out. A lot. And there's still a lot more coming out. I heard rumors of another Silent Hill. A lot of all these zombie games are still coming out. Dying Light, Dead Island. But honestly, for me, I guess my top 10 is actually pretty simple. It's a mixture of games that's out and a few that's not out, but looks pretty tempting and crazy. My number 10, I know a lot of you guys haven't heard of. It's only for PC. It's called DreadOut. It's hard to explain, but it is very story-based driven. I mean, it feels pretty much like a Japanese horror game where you know when you're gonna jump, you just do it because of the story. Number 9 for me is Aliens Isolation. I know a lot of people love the game. I'm not a big fan of the game, but it still has that horror factor, and it's still pretty scary, even with only one alien or one xenomorph. Just the fact that it's a xenomorph is scary, and you pretty much have little to no weapons. For number 8, The Disappearance of Ethan Carter. It's a PS4 exclusive. It's pretty crazy. I don't think it's out yet, but from what I've come to put together, it's basically a guy, Ethan Carter, dies and disappears, and you have to kind of solve the mystery of his disappearance. Number 7, I know a game that's not even out yet, Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. Another PS4 exclusive. The game is crazy. Basically, you wake up, it's pretty much an open world, and you're the only one left in the world. You have to find out what happened, where everybody is, and again, try and solve everything. Now, it won't make you jump, but it is a thriller, and it's pretty creepy and scary. Number 6, Until Dawn. It's hard not to be afraid of a game where you have to try and outrun and outlast a serial killer. This is, again, another PS4 exclusive. It's coming out hopefully this year. It's definitely something worth picking up a PS4 for. It's pretty deranged and demented. My top 5 horror games. Now, I know a lot of you will complain because Resident Evil isn't in it, but I've never really, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a horror game, but I feel it's more of a zombie title. What, just nitpicking. It did scare me that much. A few times I did jump. Other than that, it was just fun. But anyway, back to my list. Number 5, Outlast. If you have never played this game, it's on PC, PS4, Xbox One. It's pretty insane. It kind of gives you the feeling of Silent Hill, but it's not. It's kind of a cheaper version of it, but it's still pretty intense and scary. I'm not really sure what the story is, because it's pretty out there. But you basically have to outlast, or last till, I guess, morning in a broken down mental institute. Trust me, it's definitely something worth looking into. Number 4, Alan Wake. Not sure if Sony PS3 had it. No, Xbox did, and I got into it, I played it, and I have to admit, it was pretty intense. A lot of it was intense. It's basically, you're a writer, you decide to take a vacation, and on your vacation you're thrust into the story that somehow was written by you but you don't remember, and the story is actually all coming to life. It was a pretty intense and at times very scary outlook of pretty much the human brain, of what the writer is going through and what the guys who made the story were thinking. Definitely worth looking into. Number 3, of course, the Silent Hill series. Silent Hill has always had that creepy, crazy, just you don't know what's in front of you type of feel. It's definitely one of the best horror games out there. Now, my second game, Evil Within. It just came out in September. This game was made by the guys who made Resident Evil. And the game, from the get-go, it feels like a normal action game, story-based action-driven game. But you're called to a hospital because a group of cops that they're never reported back, and you're the detective sent to figure out why. And once you hit there, everything goes to hell. The world around you goes to hell. It's a very deranged setting. You get knocked out and you wake up. And not only do you have to survive these horrific zombie-like mutated creatures, You also have to survive traps. And pretty brutal traps if you die. So yeah, Evil Within surprised the hell out of me. Is how good the game really is. The story is very complex, but very, I would say, awesome and incredible, but it's intense and complex. The action is very Resident Evil-ish. You get those little bursts here and there, but other than that, it's solving puzzles to try and take care of enemies without using your weapons, because you have very little ammo. Of course, for my number one game for horror games, it will always be the Fatal Frame series. Supposedly, the first Fatal Frame was based on a true story. Supposedly, the second Fatal Frame was based on a true story. Now, nobody can confirm this, if it's true or not, but there have been rumors and there have been actually newspaper clippings of certain parts of the story. Now, the whole thing is you're a girl and you can see spirits and dead ghosts and dead spirits and supernatural beings, but only when you lift up the camera to your face. So pretty much think of it as putting your smartphone camera on and walking around with it in front of your face. And every now and then a ghost will appear in front of you. And the ghosts are pretty mean and evil. They've actually gave you a specific way of battling the spirits, which is pretty hard. No weapons of any sort, like bullets, guns, knives, just dealing with the dead. So of course not. Story was very intense and brutal. It actually felt like it could really happen in real life. So it's hard to say. But the series will make you jump every 5 to 10 minutes. I think there's 3 so far. There's a 4th one coming out for Wii U in Japan. I'm hoping that it gets translated to the PS4 and Xbox One later on. Probably not. But if you've never played it, probably one of the few. If you try and look for them, they're pretty expensive now. They're very, very rare. But the game is one of the epic horror games out there. I mean, if you go back and ask a person who has been playing video games for the last 20 years, I'm pretty sure they've heard of Fatal Frame. Anyway, guys, that's my top 10 horror games. Why don't you guys tell me what your horror or your favorite horror games are? Leave comments. Other than that, take care. See you guys soon.